Every game late in the series concludes to several problematic outcomes concerning Samus Aran's future. Specified criteria begins with the following of her exposing the compromised status of the Galactic Federation, with Madeline Bergman retrieved as evidence confirming their corruption in Other M, which immediately becomes more apparent near the end of Fusion, as they secretly devise a Metroid breeding program in the BSL for, quote, peaceful applications. Fully summarizing just by the mere existence of such an elusive, sinister experiment being developed by their senseless ambition and desperation to fortify their notably weak organization with the aid of bioweapons. The sworn mental desire infecting from within them, seeking to capture the SAX, further emphasizes this notion. Namely, they'll do anything to achieve a droplet of power, regardless of the risks that inevitably come with it. Outside of the Federation's draconian case, however, Samus Aran herself is officially a convicted criminal after pulling off an unknown origin presumed future antagonist by stealing their own assets unauthorized by headquarters, albeit with zero alternative methods provided otherwise. Although, the one disturbing detail that really opens my eyes is the transmission received from Adam in the navigation room immediately after the restricted zone was obliterated. Learning her disobedience of their orders, he tells Samus that she'll have to pay a price for that quite soon. It's never made clear on what her punishment would have been for trespassing and destroying their classified bioweapon intel. But the amount of suspense that's delivered during the situation gives it a dead serious undertone. For all we know, it could have very well been an act of treason on her part. It's such a subtle yet seethingly powerful moment in the game that makes it feel especially deadly. It really makes you wonder on what said punishment could have received by the Federation. Retirement? Confiscation? Prison? For 14 years because, or even death. But despite the twists and turns that happened between both games, the Galactic Federation surprisingly let her off on the whole impromptu espionage thing and kept their alliance treaty in Metroid Dread. Although, as for the new organization liable for the Emmy production program, Exelion Star Corporations, honestly makes interpretation for the next installment story on the timeline difficult to think over. Because the sheer variety available to create an intriguingly complex lore-based narrative is practically limitless considering on how much has happened since Other M. Needless to say, it has me concerned. And theoretically, what if Psylocke is really onto something here? What if its supreme hatred and destructive action toward the Federation is done so with reasonable intention? Perhaps it knows something about them that Samus Aran doesn't. And what if it turns out it's been trying to warn her this whole time? The thing is with conspiracies, they have evidence. And there's a ton of it in here that we can't ignore. Who knows what could happen in Metroid 6? I personally don't want to imagine it considering.